But I'll hand over to Mike so he can show you how they all work.
Right, good morning everyone. Hi there. A little bit nervous, but it'll be fine. So my name's Mike. I'm a music inclusion specialist. I'm going to start with that because I love that title. That's what we're all doing. No matter what the challenge might be for one of our students, it's our job to include them in music in some way. So yes, I do work at Victoria School. I work with a lot of physically challenged children. Yes, a lot of this has been designed with them in mind, but it's not just for physically challenged children. These toys that we're showing you today are for everyone. It just makes music fun and accessible. So I don't want you to think, well, we haven't got any wheelchair users or anything like that. It doesn't matter. This is for everyone. So the first thing we're going to have a look at, there's so much to go through. You can see a lot of buttons up here. There's an awful lot of buttons, but everything has been designed to be so easily used in the classroom by anyone. You don't have to be, I can't read music. You know, I'm a jack of all trades, but no means a master of any of them. I play a bit of guitar, I play a bit of piano, and I just love weird musical instruments, especially electronic ones, so that's how I got into it. But with all the buttons, the most important one is the on switch. That if you do use these, you do use these, okay? Because in the past, technology wasn't quite as good as it is now, and some of these things were maybe a little bit more complicated than they are nowadays. I've spent years visiting schools like yours, going to the back of cupboards and pulling out Soundbeams covered in dust, because no one knew what they were, no one knew how they were used. So the really important thing is when you do use these all the time. So where to start? We're going to start with iPad, because most of this stuff kind of needs an iPad, or will run through an iPad. So we have got some brand new iPads, but I'm going to use mine today just because we couldn't get quite all the apps on there. So do we all use Apple iPads? Yeah, we all have access to? No. Okay.
Mentioning that we can hide iPads as well.
Yeah.
So that would be an option.
There are box loads of brand new iPads at Soundstore. Box loads. But they are brilliant and at the same time naughty. So this is...
Sorry, can I just ask on that? If we were to hire them though, like they're essentially just a standalone piece of equipment. We couldn't do anything via the internet, I'm guessing. It would have to just be stuff that's on there itself.
I mean, you could request apps that we could put on for you. This is new to us, so we're all looking a bit blank.
The question is, they all work with an external app, so yes, you need a tablet of some form in order to make them work. Is that right?
I mean, that's what I'm asking, so I'm like, I'd happily hire someone and pick up a box of photo iPads and take to school, but
oh, no.
to get onto anything.
Yeah.
We're using on GarageBand, and so then we do a GarageBand project.
So all the essential ones that I'll be showing you today will be on them.
Okay.
Yeah, will be on them. So firstly, they are bad, Apple. This is an older one with a lightning thing. Now, if you get the newer ones, you can get little adapters, which I'll show you one in a moment. They're all USB-C. Now, these adapters only work with the new iPads now, only if they're USB-C and onwards. The older lightning ones, they stopped them working, so we had to buy new iPads, which was kind of naughty of them. So a recent iPad, I'm not very good with the generations, but basically if it's got a USB-C, we're good. That in particular, which we'll look at after break, to run the Cosmo switches. So iPads as they are, standalone, they come with, I think, possibly one of the most fantastic apps. It's GarageBand. Anyone know GarageBand? Yeah, okay, so GarageBand is fantastic. It's free and it comes with your iPad. So the reason I'm looking at GarageBand first is because we will use this to get a lot of the sounds for other things. Now all these things come with their own sounds, but they will also take sounds from GarageBand, which there are tens of thousands of. And the other reason I like it, it's almost tactile, even though it's a flat screen. If I just put it onto guitar, you can literally bend a string on it. So, fantastic. The other app, and we have got to scoot through this, because again, a lot of this we could go on all day, just one thing. Thumb Jam. So Thumb Jam, I think, will cost you maybe cost us about 12 quid. But if you've got an iPad at school, you want to put it on. Again. So what we're looking for with assistive technology in anything, and the big headline, and especially for students that I work with special needs, is that they can access music, one, independently, and two, with as much creative freedom as possible. So what does that look like? I mean, the choice of being able to go from quiet to louder, which you can with this. It's that choice of being able to wobble a note a bit. You can put in as many or as little notes as you like. There's a huge, if I put it onto violins, that's a really good one. And give it to someone to have a go. Would like to have a go?
Is there any way to turn off this buzzing?
This is particularly good for eye gaze users, actually, but yeah. Yeah, there we go, yeah. So it's, yeah.
There's a buzzing sound. I think it's from this mic. It's like from one of the
I
mics.
think it's this mic here.
It will be because so it's not a mic, it's a beam. So yeah, if you move, we'll get into that. That's kind of the head, that's like the headline. Yeah, I will do, yeah. So the reason it's buzzing is because that buzzing should disappear now. Yeah, okay, sorry about that. The reason it was buzzing, let's jump the gun a little bit. It works on a sonar beam, like a bat, like a submarine. So I put the range, so the beam now is less than 0.5 metre. But you can put that beam out to 6 metres. And so your children can run in and out of it. Again, we'll get to it because that is an all-dayer. But I just put it on so it made a bit of music as you came in, really. Yeah. But that's why it was buzzing. So there's a little motor in it, and the longer the range, the louder the motor will go. Yeah, iPads. What did I do? There we go. The other apps, I say GarageBand and ThumbJam are probably your go-to apps, really. But that sort of leads us on to why we need iPads. So some of the things that are here that do take iPads.
We cannot get them on pads that are not iPads.
Right, we are having this struggle at my school as well. iPads are expensive. They are.
Yeah.
Samsung Galaxy's a fraction of the price, but there is a reason for it. Apple are really the only people that think about, in particular, SEN use. But also, when Apple gets something that's really good, they don't let it go to anyone else. So the things I'm showing you, you will only get on a iOS. Yeah.
My problem is that I had a whole set of class, we were lucky enough for iPads, and I used them for GarageBand, and then gradually, as they got older, they don't work so well anymore, and they won't work, and it became so unusable, and of course they won't let you update it then.
No, so you
that
probably...
was fine.
Yeah.
So I ended up having to ditch it completely because it was unworkable with the class of iPads that we had.
This is the unfortunate thing. I think it's better now, it's almost like a law. Everything has to be USB-C now. So Apple can't really do that to us anymore. So I'm hoping that this could be the last iPad you buy. We're still running on, I've got an iPad 1 at home, which I still use GarageBand on. It still works, but obviously I can't update anything. Yeah. So, for instance, what we're about to see, the Oddballs, won't work on your old iPad. It'll only work on a more recent one. It does work, these do work on my Lightning one, so, you know, that's something, they're not so bad. But things like the Cosmo switches, it will have to be a USB-C one. Yeah. But on the shelf, yeah. So, yeah, let's look at Oddballs. Okay.
Are you programming them, or
Nope.
are they different
Nope.
pitches?
No, we'll show you all that now. So they're really sensitive. A light touch will be a low note, a harder touch will be a higher note. So if you just let it bounce on the floor now, and just let it go, So they're really... Oh, that one's run out for some reason. That's good, isn't it?
So is that hooked up to an app?
Yeah, so I shall show you now. This is not all they do. So let's show you the app. So the app is free. The balls, well, it doesn't matter because they're on the shelf, but they're about £100 and odd for three. Well, no, about £80 each, I think. So this is the app.
Sorry, 80 pounds each.
And
That's the buy. So we've got enough.
Did you say they're oddballs?
they're called Oddballs, but put in Oddball music, otherwise you get a website about men's pants. That's true, because that's another company name. So yeah. So the app is beautifully simple. You get the balls. The app is free. It's got loads of stuff on it. I like this one, especially with our students. It's very delicate. Be very careful. Don't drop it. Oh dear. That came with. You can also put your own. So you have this library of sounds here. You've got a sound lab, we've got arcade, we have disco, grime time, and then you've got mic in. Now I've been using this to do phonics with some of our non-vocal students. So if I just demonstrate, if I put, let's put Freddie, Harper, let's use your Harper. So even though we have some non-vocal students, they've still got to cover phonics.
Harper.
So you programmed in that.
All I've done is gone to the bottom of let's get a better one actually. Ryan.
So they have a program with names on it.
It says here, it says record. Morning Soundstorm. Morning Soundstorm. And you just name it and it's in the library of my sounds. That simple.
So, if you punch in that...
Okay, I'll have to save it first. We'll put SS on there. For want of a better name. DS we call it. Okay, and then I have to find it in my library. She should be up here. Morning Soundstorm.
Morning Soundstorm. Morning Soundstorm. Morning Soundstorm. Morning Soundstorm.
Morning Soundstorm. Right, yeah, that is how lovely and simple and quick it is to use. Not the only thing they do. So obviously you could have three different, you can change the pitch on them, you can change the transpose. I'm talking to music teachers, so I know you know what I'm talking about. So as they stand, if you play, let's go for this one.
So you would program the pitch of each ball to what you want it to be?
You can do. If you go, yeah, if you go into the settings, you can change the pitch. As it stands, they're nicely in like a E and an A and a B, like a nice bluesy thing, really.
Okay.
Yeah. So these are all the sounds that are on there. The other functions that these balls do, you also have, actually, before we come off of there, a loop function, which is just fantastic, which is here.
Morning Soundstorm. Morning Soundstorm. Morning Soundstorm. Morning Soundstorm. Morning Soundstorm. Morning Soundstorm. Morning Soundstorm.
So you can build up.
So if I'm just kind of thinking, I can kind of see where I use that with a special needs element. So if I had a class, or a group, for example, I would need an iPad and a set of the oddballs, and then that group would be able to do something like that, mixing and...
Yeah. I mean, I've actually got this on my Mac laptop as well. So I like with Cosmo, it does have to be, which we'll get to later, it does have to be iPad. But with this one, I think it's just any iOS sort of thing. You get it on your phone. So again, a lot of these things, quite a few of them, weren't developed for SEM work. So like Soundbeam, for instance, which we're going to get to later, has been going since the late 80s, early 90s, and was originally developed for ballet dancers to move and create music as they move. Then, of course, they realised, like, oh my goodness, the good it can do for people with special needs, and that's the road they took. Pascal, so Oddballs are relatively new, has also realised this, and I'm in talks with him at the moment. And so these were design really, if you look at the adverts on Facebook or on YouTube, it's young kids making hip hop and dubstep.
Morning Soundstorm.
Morning Soundstorm. But he's seen through the work that we've been doing with it, like what it can do for SEN and for educational uses. So he's now using our school as a case study to further that. Yeah. So again, but so accessible. So again, for I can balance this on the arm of a wheelchair.
Morning Soundstorm.
Morning Soundstorm. We all got a few students who are a bit winged like this, like cerebral palsy. They can just hold that, bounce it off the chair, and they can create music. We even put them inside boxes and roll them around, or you can leave them in their little things and just hit them. So other things that they do. So
you're creating different tones on them. Is that through how hard they're being struck, or?
Yeah. So a really light one with your finger. Oh, if you hold it. There you go. So if you bounce it on the floor, it'll be quite high.
Okay.
So, I mean, a really good one to demonstrate that actually is one of the drum beats. So if you do a real light one with your finger, and then a harder one maybe on your knee, you get the snare, so you can get a beat going with it.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, grime. So other things that they do, and this is the one that I really like. They have, on the app, that's Create that we've just been on quite at Skoog. We have the DJ. Now, a lot of your older students are going to really love this one. Bit slow here today, it is. Come on.
Is this all the Beautifully Simple app?
It's all on the same app.
Beautifully Simple, is that the app?
So simple, yeah.
So simple.
It's so well, no, the app is Oddball. It's just Oddball app, yeah. I mean, they won't do anything until you hook them up, but the app is free, and it will be on all the iPads that Soundstorm have on the shelf. It's going to take a while, I think, isn't it? But we'll do it. So you've got all these genres here: disco, rock. This seems to be a particular favourite, the jungle one. So we've got some instructions here. One of them is shake. One of them is air throw. And the other one is tap.
Oh, wow.
Then, if we put this one on here, when I bounce it to someone else, it's going to mix into the next tune. So you can shake, tap, or air throw. So same again, you can shake, tap, or air throw. Just like, give it a little throw in the air and catch it. So you've gone on to the next one. So let's have a look at another. Reggaeton is a good one. So with this one, you've got 4. This one, you can just move it like that, just move it. Shake. Air throw and catch. Tap. And then your drum beat comes in. You can throw it, well, to bounce it on someone else and it'll mix into another tune. So this one's got a really good one. If you hold it in your hand like this and just spin it. And then of course the tap with the drum. Brilliant. Someone else have a good go? Another one. So this one you can move, spin it, air throw it, and tap it. Yeah, all the same, so you can do any of those moves in any order. Sorry? You can, but they kind of loop on anyway, yeah. I know, we could be all day on just one thing, we really could. So, yeah, that is Oddballs. Thank you. So that is Oddball. The other thing I can show you on here is if you do use GarageBand a lot, there's a new one here called SoundLab, and what that does is you can get any sound or anything that you saved into a file on GarageBand, or even like an MP3 or a piece of music that you've got on your iTunes. Simple as open and load. And you can load any sound that you have saved on your iPad onto the Oddball. It could be a backing track, yeah. But again, like with all of these things, I can only really scrape the surface with the time we've got today. Like with all of it, you take it and you play with it. And that's how you learn. And they're all so beautifully simple now. It wouldn't take you long to know every function that it does. They will also hook to GarageBand as a MIDI controller. You would have to go into your settings for that. But there's a really good website and everything there for you to help. But the sounds that come with it are really good. So I've not yet hooked that up to GarageBand. I haven't felt the need to. But yeah.
Is that the Oddball Music website?
The Oddballs website.
Gives you all the information.
Yeah. So we're going to have a look at our Skoog now. So this is another thing where you do need an iPad, but it doesn't have to be a new one necessarily. This is a Skoog. So these have been about for a while. Pass it around, have a go. It's a big squishy cube, really. So different note on each side. Now this has always been a free thing, but we only found out yesterday that they've been around a long time. They've obviously sold all their units. They're not making any money now. So we now have to subscribe to the app. But that is a very recent thing. I had to rush home yesterday and quickly subscribe to the app so we could have a go on it today. I think it's about £40 for the year, which is okay, really. It's quite sensitive. So at the moment, it's okay. At the moment, we're running on the sounds that Skoog have given us. Not how I often use it. We're going to go onto our MIDI, turn the sounds off, turn the MIDI on, and then in the background, I have GarageBand. So hopefully, we've now got the guitar that I've got up on GarageBand. So it can take all its sounds from GarageBand, and if you don't use GarageBand, I know I said tens of thousands, it's more like hundreds of thousands of amazing sounds. Do something, give you a piano.
Try and get it to play chords. Can you do it?
I guess if you change this.
I'm going to say, yes, you could. You could do it. It'd be maybe a thing for another time, but if you went into your record and recorded the chords, then they would go on there as chords, yeah. But it's also just another, so okay, like I say, it's quite, yeah. There you go. Yes, yeah, it is, but again, it's just a really fun way to access music. Now you have got 5 choices on there for 5 notes. There's another app called Skoog Scratch, which we'll have a look at the moment, which is, well, actually no, you have to subscribe to all of it. What Skoog Scratch does is it will sample or record a sound on each separate one. So you could have a different sound on each side of the cube. At the moment, you've got the one sound on all of it, but a different note on each side. With Skoog Scratch, you could just record in, hello, I'm feeling very good. I had a nice dinner last night, all on a different side. So it's great for speech as well, I find. But really good for bass lines. For, you know, getting children to play bass lines, you never need more than 5. But, yeah. It is better on a table, yeah. Or I have, you can buy a mount for it. and a camera arm sort of thing that will clamp onto a table, so it's just there like that. Because it is, you can adjust the sensitivity. I've got it on very sensitive, so you can actually shake it and it will play. Or should give it a good shake? No, maybe not. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, there's a little man in there with a guitar. Yeah.
I'm just saying to Claire that the fear I would have with something like this, and I'm sure you'll tell me that that's unfounded, is that the type of children we have in mainstream settings, you know, you might only have one or two that might, you know, access it, and they do something and they love it, but you've got no idea how they've done it, and then they get really upset because they want to do it again, and they just sort of keep saying to you something like, but no, that one! And I'm like, but I don't know what that one was, I have no idea how you got there, because you're obviously working with the children on a much more lower ratio than we are. You know, you might only have one or two children that you're working with, whereas you're working with maybe, you know, 30 and up.
Sure.
That would be my worry, is because like, we're all just experimenting and having fun, which is great, and that's what it should be.
Do you mean in the sound they're making, or?
Well, yeah, and like, even with the oddballs, like, you know, some of it was so cool, and it's like, I want to do that again, and I want to do, no, but I want to do that again.
The fun of experimenting with a new instrument, I suppose. I mean, as far as the sound goes, they're set to a sound. That's their sound. Yeah. So, you know, what one? Well, it was this one, the guitar. You know. As far as how they're playing it, you can adjust the sensitivity so it's a bit more purposeful. Obviously, I've got that on a really sensitive mode because we've got some very weak children having to access it. Yeah. You can adjust the sensitivity so you'd have to be a real purposeful press in the middle of that red one or in the middle of that orange one. Then it's like, well, okay, you played the E in the A and the D, so it was red and it was orange and it was yellow. There is also, I think, a little, on the actual Skoog website, well, on the website, on the app, there is a way that you can follow songs. So it gives you a library of stuff here. So you can go back and look at it that way as well. So you can, I mean, this one is, yeah. The Skoog songbook.
Do those colours match with like boom whacker codes?
So you can adjust that. But yeah, okay, boom whacker codes. Yeah, well, actually, as it stands at the moment, it does. I know for a fact that red is C, and I think E for yellow, blue for A, green for G or F. So yeah, it is. But you can go back. Here we go.
You could actually have a class where you've got
everyone playing boom whackers,
so you've got the more able kind of using those touches, and then you've got just
there we go. So you've got your different colours, you can assign whatever note to whatever colour in here. So yeah.
The other concern we were just talking about, and this is sort of way off in the future, but is that we potentially wouldn't be the people in our school delivering these things. So would there be an opportunity in the future for some kind of training for, you know, so say, you know, 4 of us decided, yeah, we'd like to use some oddballs in our classrooms, but actually be the TA, the one-to-one TA who'd be working with that child, you know, but we potentially haven't got the time to train that one-to-one TA or the knowledge to train that one-to-one TA, so could we perhaps get 5, 6 TAs from a school together and offer some training for them?
I am available to train. Speak to Sarah, the Soundstorm team. I mean, I think that's going to, I'll be honest with you, I'm hoping that's what's going to happen. It's going to keep me in work, you know. So I mean, it's the most I can tell you all what's happening today, but certain things, especially this fella, when we get to this one, it will maybe need a bit. Most of the things are immediate. I'm going to be honest with you. That's why we've gone for them, you know, because the idea is that your LSA, even though they're not musical maybe, can get them straight in and go, oh, okay, that's simple, I can do that. So that is why we have chosen these, and in particular, and the manufacturers realise this as well. I mean, Soundbeam had years ago, well, why are people just putting them in the back of cupboards? And then they've realised, well, it's got to be usable by everyone, not just someone that knows what transpose means, or, you know. So the majority of stuff is pretty immediate, but further training is always available, yeah. Would you like to go on the Skoog?
It needs like a pastoral, a TA from each school, because this in pastoral is so powerful, not just music lesson.
I said, I'm sure you did probably say this sort of stuff before, and I probably just didn't read it, but I was sitting here thinking, there is a TA in my school who would be literally running around this room right now with excitement.
That was me.
But he's not the person that's here, and I wouldn't
have a go.
be the one that had time to learn how to use the stuff.
Yeah, no, I think
Chris would be absolutely beside himself right now if he
Yeah. Someone who gets excited to me about this stuff. Yeah, brilliant. Yeah. So it's on quite a whiny guitar at the moment, isn't it?
It's also worth mentioning that our website has little videos
of TAs who are kind of going to lead the way on this sort of thing. I used this week, Bloom.
Bloom.
I used it in the opening.
Yeah, I just thought better mention Bloom before we move on from iPad here. Yeah, it is brilliant. So Bloom's very sensory, developed by Brian Eno, the genius behind Roxy Music and many a Bowie album. Brian Eno and another fellow I can't remember because it's not Brian Eno. This is just like a loop function. It's really relaxing. Bloom. A couple of quid, I think, and then it'll loop round.
Children, and I just kind of let them be in charge of the music, and then
On your interactive whiteboard?
well,
or on an iPad?
they were just using the iPad, but I linked the iPad up to my speaker, and then I said to this little year 2, right, you're in charge, you're going to start making the music, and then I.
There we go. So I wouldn't muck about. I'd get the one actually made for Apple.
We tried that at school because we had the old adapters. But the old adapters do still work.
No.
Oh, they work.
No. So this is what I say. So we're running off my older iPad today, which is a Lightning one. They stopped those adapters working.
Oh, ours still work at school though. So
Do they?
Yeah, ours were working. So
How have you done that?
No,
Wow, okay.
because I don't want them not to work.
No, let's not jinx it. My goodness,
Yeah,
okay.
we've got the old ones, but only the Apple. We had the other ones, and then you'd get sound problems and like latency and such. We just were like, right, we just got to fork out get real ones. So they work with our current ones.
12 quid. Yeah, I mean that's believe that's what that one was, and that is like USB-C one. So I'm going to, and that way you could actually plug a MIDI keyboard in, so you could use a keyboard with GarageBand with the iPad in front. You got your HDMI, so yes, you can get that to come out on the big screen, but only on a USB-C. Well, maybe not. I'm going to tell them.
So what's that thing called that you've got in your hand at the adapter?
So it's like it's a USB-C adapter with HDMI cables for visual, a USB and a mini.
I've got one for like the speakers.
You can put it into your board basically.
Yeah, see that is the other thing that we need to get actually. I thought about that, the ones to plug headphones into. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I've got to get the screen before I need to get the sound.
I mean, Apple really have moved the goalposts a bit, and there's a lot of other stuff to think about now. I mean, that is really annoying. The fact that you can't, like now, my older iPad, I have a headphone socket.
Yeah.
Lovely and easy. Yeah. Now, I've got to use the one and only USB-C to plug my headphone into, but then I can't use that.
Yeah, it drives me out.
It is really annoying. The only way around that, and this is where it has got complicated, is to use an interface. So an interface is something that's USB that would connect into my computer. I can play my guitar into it. It changes my analog sound of my guitar into noughts and ones so the computer can understand it and just basically records. That's the only way now to be able to get your iPad to come out of speakers and use a keyboard is to use an interface in between. But again, that might be training for another time. But one of these with the newer iPad, fantastic. Yeah, you can get your visuals out, get a keyboard plugged in. We'll maybe give that a go later. Okay, the problem with Bluetooth speakers is a delay, unfortunately. It's a weird one, okay? So these Bluetooth and the Skoog Bluetooth, they haven't got a delay because they're Bluetoothing this straight to the iPad. It's when you start Bluetoothing the iPad to a speaker, you'll get dink, dink, which is annoying for anyone, and especially it won't, you know, it's just not any good. So hard wiring, I would always recommend. So just get your little 3.5. personal stereo headphones, sort of connectors, yeah, and the little doohickey that comes with, doesn't come with the iPad that you have to buy as an extra. Yeah, everything you see here is a MIDI controller,
so it's just
really.
like the same way like you have a keyboard and like the premise is the same, I assume.
Yeah, I mean everything, including the invisible stuff. It's all MIDI controllers. It's all stuff that's controlling the sound in the computer, or in the Soundbeam's case, the brain bit here. So, all good? Any questions? Okay. So, we're going to have a look at this newcomer, the Arcana Strum. Something I really like. Where's the bag of extras? Here it is. What I love about this, so it's kind of been developed as a guitar. So there's maybe some of our students that can't access the guitar. You can see we have a couple of strap holders, so you can actually wear it like a guitar. What I love about this, I'm just going to unplug it to show you, is how they've really thought about, definitely my clients. You can spin it round. So if this is the hand that needs to play the notes, because this is where the notes are, then that's the way it is. Or you can spin that whole thing round. Have it this way, have it this way. Oh, it gets cleverer. There are in the bag of extras some other ones of these to make it a bit easier. One with just 3 big ones, if you've got like a cerebral palsy sort of hitter going on. This is how we strum it. This is the bit I really like. Here you have a tension to make it really loose. So muscular dystrophy, especially later on, about 15 years old, we have a lad. He's at that stage where he has to do this to get a pencil, but by loosening this off enough, he's able to strum it, which is brilliant. We just place his hand on it. Then, of course, you've got, like we just mentioned, cerebral palsy, you've got a lot of muscle tone, and sometimes cannot help but to come down on stuff really hard, you just tighten it back up. And that is one of the only things on the market that have really thought about our guys, our kids, in that respect. So that's one of the reasons I really like this. Also, with your bag of extras, you get different ends. And this one has a strap. It's for a foot. So we can put a foot on here. Play it. I know, right? There's an array of straps. There's one there with an actual strap for a hand, so you can strap the hand in, if need be, if they've got a bit of involuntary. And then your textbook joystick one, which for a lot of our students is the one they like because it's like their wheelchair. So it's the one they're used to, yeah.
Can you attach things like that to wheelchairs?
Yeah, I mean, everything's possible. I mean, it has got, like I say, it's got the straps, but most of our wheelchair users have got trays.
Yeah.
That is normally how we play it. I've got one young lad who has got CP, and we've got a lot of a bang going on, but he's a walker, he stands, and he has been rinsing it like a guitar. Making the faces and everything. But normally we put it on a tray. Let's plug it in so you can see how it sounds. So for this,
What did you say the name of it is?
this is an Arcana Strum.
What kind of cost is that?
Sorry, what?
What kind of price is that?
1,500, I think.
You said that very quietly.
I did, didn't I? Yeah, but do you know what? Not bad for what it is. But again, it's all about that on switch. It's got to earn its money. That, you know, it really doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because it doesn't come out of my bank balance. But it doesn't matter the cost of any of it. It's only worth the amount you use it. You know. So everything's got to earn its money, including me. So.
Yeah, we've got 2 of these.
Can they be hired?
Everything here is
Yeah.
hireable.
Do you have to hire, does everything come in like one job lot, or are you allowed to hire the separate?
So it's
Yeah.
£60 for a turn for a Arcana. I was just looking it up.
Yeah. But you have to wait because I'm borrowing one.
Expensive, but I don't understand why. But it depends obviously what your needs are in the school, because you're saying that's the same price as hiring a class set of djembes, which is going to benefit 30 children.
But if you've already got equipment in that suits everyone, you just need
Yeah,
one
exactly. I'm not trying to say
to
it's
make
quite
the
wrong.
class
Yeah. I mean, there's one at our Soundstorm at the moment, and the other one is at my school at the moment because I'm borrowing it. So we're going to let everyone to have a go on this. It is brilliant. So we've got the guitar sound on it that Arcana have given us. So it comes, you can get this on iPad or a Mac. I do, however, think it does still have to be, I've just crossed that off like a Wally, haven't I? It does have to be an iOS and not a Windows thing. Okay, thank you. There we go, connected. So it comes with brilliant, a huge library of songs to learn. So this one here, we've got 500 miles. Good old Proclaimers. And it's telling me green and black together. And the other thing I like is, yeah, we can strum it. Or we can go slowly and do arpeggiate. Like.
So are you having to press something down with your left hand and
So,
then with your right
yeah.
hand to make that sound?
So we've got like a little thing here. I mean, it's probably better if you come up and have a go in this one rather than we pass it around, but please do. I mean, this is all about you guys having a go. It's saying that the green and black together is E.
So if you've got a mum, cerebral palsy in a wheelchair who has no access with left hand, but can use right hand.
That's okay.
So does that mean they
So-
can't make that sound because they can only access the pushy one?
No, not really. You can have them held down. You've also got a switch adapter. So if you use, by using this one and getting a couple of cheap little switches, he could hold the notes down with his head. So it's just switch it out, so you can plug head switches into it, or foot switches, every switch you want, and then it's going to have the same effect as pressing any colour on there. So again, they've really thought about that. So yeah. Yeah. I think it'd be nice because we've got 5 minutes of a break. If you all just come up and have a go on this one, yeah. But again, we can go and just show you, we're using the sounds that Arcana are giving us. So we use their piano. And you can like dabble about, mix the notes up together, create different chords. It will automatically also hook into our GarageBand. So you're not tied to the sounds that they're giving you. So if I put on some...
So you can then use it as a MIDI controller through GarageBand.
Absolutely, yeah, which is what we tend to do with it really. It's brilliant for some of our older students who are making some like sort of techno-y stuff and a bit of dubstep and hip hop. There you go, so... Sorry?
Could it be plugged into an iPad or any other computer?
There is, I do believe you can get this on the iPad as well. So the way I get it, it's not like an app. So you go onto their website, you go on the Arcana website and it hooks up into there. So yes, iPad will work.
It doesn't have to be Apple on computer.
I'm not overly sure now. I believe it does. Because most of these things have to use an iOS to work. Now, I'm not a computer boffin. I just know how to make these things make noises, really. But most of the things here, I was talking to Pascal the other day, the Oddball guy, and he kind of said, no, it has to be iOS. Because it's, yeah.
I love all these things, but as soon as you've talked about a switch, the thing you've lost me.
Yeah,
So if I wanted to go, right, I really want to get into this, I need to buy an Apple iPad to be able to work these things.
Well, or you can hire them from
Or hire.
You can hire.
In some way, I need to have access to an Apple iPad to be able to launch all these.
For Oddballs, Arcana, and Cosmo switches, which we haven't looked at yet, yeah.
It says on the Arcana website that you can use it with Google Play, so...
Oh, okay, there you go.
I guess that means it doesn't have to be Apple.
Brilliant, okay, thank you. I didn't actually know that. I just took it that it's Apple like everything else. So yeah, brilliant, you can do it.
Arcana Strum may be used with multiple applications. Try it out with one of the following, and it says either Google Play on Android or App Store.
Excellent. Even better.
Cubase is just a MIDI controller. It's the same thing as opening up just any door.
Right. Would you like to come up and have a go and then we'll have a break? Yeah. Now help yourselves.
But I think it's
lovely, isn't it? It's really, it's not until you play them that you realise how responsive they are. Yeah, it would be, especially if it's a Friday. But I'm looking at. I work for Soundstorm on Fridays. I work in Victoria Monday to Thursday. But to be honest, I'd be quite willing to drop another day at Victoria. So if the work builds up, that's who Soundstorm, they pay me. Yeah. So welcome back, everyone. P-Bone, brilliant. I wish we had them when I was at school. I'd love to have played the saxophone, Madness being the band at the moment when I was at school. My parents couldn't afford that. Affordable for for your students to get into brass and woodwind. Fantastic idea. Okay, so we're into the second half. We're going to look at some of the bigger boys in assistive technology. So we've been running a beatbox project at our school for quite some time, which we've had huge success with speech and language, respiratory, eating, all of the above really, anything to do with around here and around here. We've got a case study going on at the moment over it. Dr. Asher Ward, who is a professor who makes this sort of thing, is going to be making one of these that's going to be for our students to use. So this, again, is not being made for this sort of work. It's just something that we use. This is a 505 loop station. Does anybody know a loop station? Oh, 505, yeah, 505. It's a Boss 505 loop station. This just makes speech and language really fun. So to give you some sort of context, when our speech and language therapy team came down to see what we were doing in beatboxing, and we were linking up with a guy called Dean, or Beat Technique, who's one of the country's best beatboxers, but he's up in Wales. We were doing the Zoom every week, but I learned quite a lot of the off of him as well, so I'm sort of carrying it on. When our speech and language team came down to first see it, she said, well, you're doing in half an hour what we try and do in a year. The secret again, and I'm sure you're all teachers, you all know this, the secret is don't let them know they're learning. Don't let them know that, it's a fun thing. It's just a fun thing. The first thing we learn with beatboxing is boots and cats. Didn't do that very well, but there we go. So this is effectively what it does. So you could effectively make a song out of a conversation. It's got several effects, so we could put a bit of an echo on there. So we've got a bit of a gate there, so we could mix both of those. So there we go. And
sorry, I'm such a dinosaur. I'm so sorry.
No, please do. This would be any good questions. Yeah, go for it.
But it's obviously not the loop station that you're using to create the sound. So what are you having to put that through?
Okay, microphone.
Yeah, but it's still, what are you using on your computer or laptop or whatever?
Nothing. Loop station. It is just a loop station. Yeah, I've got on a strange effect. No, it's fine. It is just a standalone thing. It will do so much. We really could be here all day with this one. Like I say, it is maybe the most complicated thing we have up here today. But we've had such huge success with it. So I'm going to give you, I think, my favourite success story. I have a student at school, loves to go on what he called the poputer on a lunchtime to look at Bambabinis, the big car. Yeah, but Bambabinis. After a term of beatboxing and learning to hold his breath and respiratory, not only did his eating improve, because of course, like with cerebral palsy, the tongue sometimes pushes food out, it wants to come out. by having fun, you're learning a different thing to do with that. And clops and so after a term, it was a computer and it was a Lamborghini, and it still is now a computer and a Lamborghini. And we feel that was because he really got into it. So you just hear him around the school, and they love it. But again, don't tell them it's doing them good, but it really is.
It's so true though, because I was doing some singing warm-ups yesterday, making lots of silly sounds like that really, and there's a little boy in there with a speech impairment, and he was really copying me, and I was like, oh my gosh, he's making those sounds.
Yes. I cannot expect how successful beatboxing has been. Again, I think you could get hold of Dean through you, yeah, through Soundstorm if you want to get that Zoom, and he is available. This I know because we've not using him this year. So he is a lot better than me at it, and he's brilliant with the children. And it is over a Zoom, but that's fine because it is beatboxing. But they miss him, so we're having to get him back just for a couple of weeks because the kids at my school just really miss him. Yeah.
What's that called that you've just used?
Sorry?
What is it you've just used there?
Okay, so there's, I mean, we'll come up and have a go at the end again. It's a loop station, so, I mean, I put the faders up. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I can record something on the first one, and
So I can record something on the first one.
something different on the second one.
Something different on the second one.
Again and again and again.
Again.
Number 4. And number 5. Which we'll do number 5.
Is that about £500, something like that?
Yeah, that's what I was just looking at. Or 25.
But it doesn't have to be my voice. It doesn't have to be my voice. So we got. There we go. This is the newer version, so it's I have the older version. So I could do with sitting down with this one myself. This does a lot more. But it doesn't have to be vocal. This thing, if you're a little bit of a musician, you can put instruments into it, and that's what I love to use it for at home. I could plug my guitar into it, play a few chords, loop them, and it doesn't matter about the length of what you play. Well, that is designed to do the same thing. You could put that on the floor, stomp on the buttons. But it's kind of a similar thing, yeah. But this one has been made for beatboxers in particular. There are some amazing people to look at online. I would recommend Mark Rebelle. He's kind of a comedian music act that uses one of these and a MIDI keyboard with like Logic, GarageBand, and everything he does is completely off the cuff. Yeah, completely off the, and he sells out. You can't get a ticket to see him for love or money. It's a bit risque, maybe not show it to the children, or pick very carefully before you do show it to the children. But if you want to see how one of these is used, that guy, and that will lead you to a load of other people. I mean, the internet's full of people doing amazing things with this. But what I like to do is play a few chords on my guitar, loop it, then put a bass in that one, put some voices in that one. You can overdub as much as you like. Don't make me sing, but you can. I'll maybe do a little bit. So, you can overdub. You can overdub. You can overdub. You can overdub. So go one more. It's going to ruin it.
If you wanted to capture it, so you do a mix and you say, right, I want to keep that recording, can you do that on that?
Yep. It's got over 100 savable channels.
And how do you get it off?
Oh, but like to scrub it?
No. I mean, like if I wanted to be like, oh, I want to keep that recording, I want to save it. Set it as my ringtone or something.
Okay, it is MIDI, but I mean, I would say the easiest way to do it, I mean, there is so much memory use on here, you could probably keep most of it on here. It hasn't got a USB in it because, like I say, it's not actually been made like this or this for this sort of work. But I've not yet had to take any that I've saved off of our machine at work because there's so much memory on it.
Let's say like if
Like,
a
if
child
you
wanted to
need
take
to
it home or you wanted
Yeah,
to
okay, so for that, I would
Evidence.
plug it again into an interface, which may be training for another time, and record it onto GarageBand or Logic or whatever you use on the laptop. So, I mean, you've got to kind of think of this, not like the other, but this is an external thing, really. You know, it is meant for actual musicians, beatboxers, and solo performers. But it is so much fun. I think it's one of the most popular things in my room with a lot of the students, because it is, you can do so much with it. And it doesn't have to be your voice. I have here another thing that, it's a cool Chaos oscillator. These are 100 and odd pounds. Little handheld synthesizer, which I hope I've got a battery in. No, I haven't. No, I've brought it, but I didn't put a battery in it. It's I did. A Korg K-oscillator. Brilliant word, right? K-oscillator. Korg is K-O-R-G, the make. You can also get this as an app on anything, on Android or iOS. So there's a Korg K-oscillator app, which I do have on this iPad if you want to have a look at it. It's a handheld synthesizer. It's got lots of little drum beats and sounds on it. So if I move my finger around, so you can use one of these or anything like it with our loop station. So we can just and we've looped it. Then we could put it onto different sound altogether and loop that onto the next one.
Yes. £8 term. £8 term, Sean.
£8 a term.
Yeah.
One of these?
Or just keep looking.
Yeah.
No, it's a higher loop station.
So that's picking up the sound because you're linked into it. It doesn't just do it.
No, so you will need some cables.
Okay.
So that might be another thing we should talk about is leads you needs. Leads you needs, okay? I've always got bag loads of them because you never really know. This is a loop station. This is something you would buy from Absolute Music rather than Inclusive Technology, which is the company that does stuff for SEM work. So this lead is what we call a 1/4 inch. So it's like a guitar phono, but there's two. There's a left and a right. So it's that on one end with your 5mm. Good question.
The boss loop, right?
Yeah.
We need to sort the leads out.
Yeah, we mean maybe do a bit of cable shopping to go with it. Yeah, yeah.
And does it come with a mic as well? Yeah. Behind it. Is that how it works?
No, no.
But if you needed one, I'm sure we could sort that out. Subject to availability.
Lovely, thank you.
I mean, any sort of mic will work. I'm using like a proper one with what we call an XLR cable, which is just a better connection. But a sort of normal karaoke mic with that sort of connection on the end will also go in it. Basically, if it's got a plug and an external plug, it will plug into this. Guitar, bass, little K oscillator, iPad, anything you see up here will plug into this and you can loop it and create a whole track.
Sorry, if you
Yeah,
just plug that oscillator into the back of that loop machine.
Yeah.
And is that how those two have just been?
Yeah. So everything's got output and input.
But
Yeah.
what if you was playing a drum beat from, I don't know, the Clavinova? Could you use the mic to pick it up?
You could, but your Clavinova will have a headphone socket.
It does not, actually.
Really?
No.
Have you looked under it? Look, okay, so your clav, where your clav is like on its stand, yeah? Look under it here.
Mine, that's exactly where mine is, underneath.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'd be really surprised if it didn't. So it'll have, when you look, I think you'll find a few. One will be headphone, one will be out, one will be a MIDI. There'll be a few under here. Yeah, you can call it with a microphone and it'll go straight in, but it's always better to go straight from the machine if you can. So we'll put a little thing out about leads, I think, and cables, because yeah.
Can I just say, as a plea as a teacher, that actually if we're hiring something, it needs to come as a pack with
Cable, yeah.
Because it's no good getting something and then discovering.
No.
But you haven't
No.
Because that is
conversation with my
Yeah, we'll do it. I mean, we got two of these on the table, isn't it? On the shelf, 2 loop stages. So it'd be a case of 4 leads, really, to go with them. Yeah.
So can I just ask a technical question about it again? How
Okay.
easy is it to like cut like a little bit of sample you want to use? So I'm just thinking about some of our children who are verbally, what might want to use it but aren't so fluent verbally.
Okay.
It might take them a few seconds to then
It's fine.
get their noise out.
That's fine.
So how easy is it to then isolate that little noise? Or once you press record, is that then recording there?
Okay, so this, I'm going to be honest with you, this is a Mark II. I haven't had time to get my head right into it. I'm sure there's going to be a way to do that, but I wouldn't, hand on heart, be able to tell you how to do it on this one this week. There is the one-shot thing. You'd have to be quick. So the one-shot is a pretty good little way of doing that sort of thing. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. You have to be quick on the button, really. So I know the sort of student you're talking about. And microphones, can we just say, like, your student could be the most vocal, loudest student in the world. As soon as you put a microphone in front of them, they'll ever want to eat it. I mean, you can tell this is a work one by the rust on the end. Yeah, quite horrible, really. So one shot would be, like that, just bang, bang. But there will be a way where you can cut it and edit it, and it will be on this screen here. I will bring one of these home, and I will get that answer to you. I promise. Yeah. But again, it is one of those you've got to sit down with it. But there's so much online. There's so many people doing amazing things with these, so I do recommend you look at them. But if you want to get your students into beatboxing, into singing, or into making tracks on their own, just give them a few different things, or give them a MIDI keyboard with GarageBand where they can access the piano and then the bass and then drums, and just let them create their own song. It's a band in a box. That's how I like to think of it. Yeah, it really is. It's brilliant. It's a drummer that won't move to London.
And there's drum beats on it as well.
Yes. Yeah, there is. So like I did just now, I've got like a. So you've got multi effects as well. There's an echo on that one. Yeah, and then you've got drum beats here. I'll get carried away and start playing. But come up at the end, and please do have a go on it. So we'll just clear those out. I mean, really good fun, like I just mentioned, is plugging an iPad into one and just getting GarageBand up and using one to put a drum beat. One BPM, that's important to mention, so BPM beats per minute. If you're using an iPad or a K-oscillator or something like that in here, make sure you check what BPM you're using on your GarageBand. So it's 120 normally, that's your average for like a pop song or something, 120 beats per minute. And just make sure that this is also on 1 BPM. You've got a tap tempo. So you could just tap a tempo in and it'll go immediately to that. But if you hit that button, it'll give you, at the moment we're on 74.8. And we can move that up to 120 to match what's going on with our iPad. And then whatever you do is going to sound wonderful, because it'll all just syncing nicely. So that's the same with pretty much everything. Like if you're using beats, always check the BPM on everything you're using, that it all matches and it all goes swimmingly, he said. Okay, so that is our loop station.
From what Katie said, so
yeah.
When you've done something, you turn it off, when you turn it back on again, it's going to still be there.
Yes, yeah. Honestly, there's so much memory space on this. We've had one. Yeah, but I mean, we've had one since lockdown, and we've not run out of memory space yet. And every student wants their thing saved, so there's a lot on here. Yeah.
It's not just what they say; they want to hear it again. And again.
I mean, you can either save it on here, but you can save it on here and then put it onto here.
Yeah.
It's really easy. Yeah. So I suppose that's kind of going to do. We are having a bit of a problem with Cosmo, unfortunately. It's not really backing up. So I'm going to just speak lightly, but I'm really sorry we can't get them, for some reason, hooked up this morning. So we're just going to have a quick, and then we'll put a thing on the website about them. These are Cosmo switches. And when So our brand new iPad is not having a bit of a hissy fit about linking up to its app today, I'm afraid. Let's just have a look, one more go. But I'll get a bit of footage up on the laptop to show you them working. Yeah, no, it's not happy about that at all. It's still loading.
There's some video on our website.
There's video on the website. Okay, there is a lot of stuff online about these Cosmo switches. They look great. When they are hooked up, each one will light up like that, a different colour. You get, and they are beautiful looking. They're really bright. There's like a bright green, a yellow, a red, a blue, and a purple, and a... So each one a different colour. For music, it comes with an app, which we can't get to run this morning. Again, this is the one that I can't get on my iPad. It does have to be a more recent iPad, which is why I'm having trouble this morning. On that app is loads of different activities that you can do with these switches. So we're here to talk about music. Same as the Arcana, they will automatically hook to GarageBand, so you don't have to use the sounds that they give you on the app. The app is just like each you've got one's for PE, one's for cause and effect, one's for music, one's for younger years, one for ASC. They've really categorised it, so really thought about where these are going and what they're going to be doing. Then you have like a red one, a yellow one, a green one, a blue one, a purple one, and an orange one. Each one will be assigned to a note. Ding, 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 ding. They light up as you press them. They are lovely. They also got like a little one called My Orchestra, where you have a choice of songs. This one may bring in a guitar, this one may bring in a bass, this may bring in some trumpets, so you can build a song up, drop it down. It's a big library of those to choose from. But again, what we use them for mainly is hooking into a GarageBand to get those really good sounds that we get from GarageBand and playing the notes in a song that you're doing in class.
And is that Bluetooth then?
It is, yeah. It's all Bluetooth, and it will only run off a recent iPad. I do apologise that we couldn't get those running this morning, but we will, and we'll get them up on the website. But the online is full of Cosmo, so I'll get some stuff up on my computer that we can look at in the break on them.
They did come out.
It comes with training. It comes with online training and a live training. There's quite a support behind them, but also be wary. They're quite sneaky about extra charges. So when you buy them, it kind of obligatory comes with like a training. I think you'll find. So you get two apps, one to train, one to, because they will do a lot more than the simple stuff that I'm telling you about now. But then when they loan them to you for a trial, you get all these wonderful activities, and once you've bought them, you find out that some of those activities need to be paid for. Yeah.
It's about £130 for one, is that about right?
Yes, I think that probably is right. I think, again, about $1.5 for a set. Yeah, like the Arcana, really, about $1.5 for a set. But it does come with a lot of support, whether you want it or not. Let's put it that way. But they are lovely, but they're not the most robust. I've got to be honest, so be careful with them. I've got these little doohickeys on the bottom, so you can actually get them screwed to a wall. They will work miles apart from each other. So our PE department found these really useful for PMLD PE, because PE teachers are always scratching their head when it comes to PMLD students. And these have been a bit of a winner. You get from one side of the room to the other to press it in time. They light up. Games like Mole Whacker, you put them all out, and when one light's green, you've got to hit it. Stuff like that, yeah. So that's Cosmo. So, the one we've all been waiting for, the Soundbeam. So this is where it all started for me. That's all. This is a Soundbeam. It is number 6. Soundbeam number 6, the one we've kind of been waiting for. So they started off, like I say, with Soundbeam 1, and it was just one, it was like a little box with one of these built into it, and that was it, and it just made some really cool synthy sounds, and it came to number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5. Number 6, they have it right. It's a touch screen, so I'm going to show you now. If we go home, back. No, it's okay. These all come with it. And their website, again, with Soundbeam, because it doesn't need an iPad, everything that comes after you've bought your unit is free. There's no other charges. So at the moment, if you go on their website, they've done 5 brand new sound sets that you just load onto here straight from your computer.
So for the cost, you get that box thing there.
So I did leave a thing out. So this is the unit we've got, or Soundstorm have got, which is the full unit. That's 4 beams, 8 switches, your 4 microphone stands, your main brain, and a microphone because you can sample in, and a decent set of monitor speakers. So everything up and running, ready to go.
And how much is a set like that?
£5 grand, about £5 grand. Yeah, just over. But that, and I'm going to be honest with you, really rarely, very, very rarely do you use all 4 beams because it's just a crescendo of noise, you know. We've got 8 switches. It's really rare to use all 4 beams, but better to have them and not need them than need them and not have them. So you can get other sets. You can get like a 1 beam 4 switch set. What I would say is if you were going to buy it, rather than just borrow one, get 8 switches. You can get a set with just 4, but everything does work on the touchscreen as well. So if you haven't got 8 switches, you have on here, because you can access the switches and the beam from the touchscreen. So when you get it, it will come with all these wonderful presets already on there. There's some really good activities as well, a really good website. They've also been running with the BBC 10 pieces. So there's one here that runs with that, and they do that every year, so you can use your Soundbeam with it. So let's go on to, it's a bit of a fan favourite, 2 wooden spoons. So we just hit it, bang, we're in. So let's talk about switches. Switches, we have 8. They've all got little buttons on the back so the batteries don't run out. Number 1, primarily normally a backing track, which we can't hear. Oh, there we go. So I'm just going to have to cut the switches out, just to let you have a go. So the Bluetooth, they go for quite a way. Go for it, just bing, bing. It'll run through a few notes. Yeah. It's not like on a placement on this, so like, just anywhere, yeah, no, it doesn't matter where on the switch, but I tend to say if you aim for the number, you're going to get it. There we go.
So does it change the pitch on its own thing? I'm not changing the pitch.
No, so that is the only thing with the Soundbeam, but there are ways around it. Okay, so you are tied to the scale that you're playing. So when we were talking about creative freedom, it is creative freedom because it's up to you on the timing, it's up to you on the sound, but you are tied to that scale. There's no, oh, whoops, I missed one, I can go back. You can't really. There is a way to do so on the beam, which I'll show you in a minute. It will. It's placement, yeah. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, nice.
But all good. But the other really good thing about them is, if you notice, we've got a little port here, a little auxiliary here. So any other switches, and I brought a couple with me. Any other switches you might be using with your students, and that could be head switches. If you've got students that use head switches, if you follow those switches back into the back of their headrest and unzip the cover of the headrest, it will have that on the end of it. So all switches have that on the end, so just take that out and put it into there. You need these little extenders that you get with headphones, you know. And then the head switch that your student is using will then operate this. So I've plugged this one in.
Someone talked to me about numbers the other day.
So
I've got 3.5.
this one's a trumpet. So any other switch will work with them. Then we've got the real star, right? The beam. Ready? Right, you got your backing track. Yeah. But then I said put your own in, it's so easy. So I would say that maybe the cello is a bit loud. No, it's okay, it's good really, because I need to demonstrate that's not the cello, it's that one. Number 5. So I can simply go over here. I've got a little mixing desk, and I can turn number 5 down a bit. So, it's going to turn up.
Here right now, I'd be really frustrated to not know what I was doing, like what's my sound.
Oh right, okay, so what I would do there, if I can re-demonstrate again, so yeah, absolutely you're right, crescendo of noise is lost in the classroom, absolutely. So, I'm going to treat you like my students. Right, so, thank you. Yeah. So, am I missing? Oh, yeah, thanks. Okay, so what I would do, if we were using this one, which is 2 Wooden Spoons by a band called This Is The Kit, it's a lovely song and a real favourite. I like this one because I teach the students not to play over the singing and then to bring it up and bring it down. There's some really nice little interludes in it. What I would do is say, okay, today we're doing this song, and I would hand them out just separately. You know, just separately. So first of all, I would give you a switch and let you just get into your sound. So you know what sound that it is that you're making. And then give you a quick go with the backing track. So that student knows that that is their sound. There are some similar sounding sounds on this one. Just different pitch, different key. It's so easy to change it immediately. Every switch is on here. So we've got a yellow number 3. So just click on number 3, sound. There we go, and we're on music box. I would like to use, let's say, a guitar, a nylon string guitar, bang. And straight away, it's a bit high pitch. So we've got pitch just there. So here's the muso bit, 12 semitones, that's it. So whatever number it's on, just count down 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And then really quick and easy. Your scales are here. There's a huge choice of scales. You cannot muck up a preset. You can change a preset as much as you like, and at the end it'll ask you to save it with a slightly different name. So never worry about mucking up that Soundbeam have done for you. You can't. It just won't let you. Again, it's got a huge memory, so my one is full of stuff that the children have been making over the years. Then you also have this little mixing desk, which allows you to say, here we are, number 3, switch 3, to turn it up or turn it down. If I hold my finger on here, we get some effects. So I could put a little bit of echo on my classical guitar. Or a bit of chorus or a flanger, which is a great effect and an even better word. There we go. And back. So you can turn all the beams, all the switches, up and down, or change the sound or add effects in that mixing desk. Here, we have how you write something into your Soundbeam. It really is that simple. You can plug a MIDI keyboard straight into this if you'd rather use proper keys. Or if I just wanted to play in, okay, I want to create a sequence. I quite like that. Press create sequence, it gives us a little orange. Not everyone see that, sorry. But I mean, everyone's got to come up and have a go on this in a minute. So I'll put in my F. There we are, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I like that. I'll save that. And I'll call it 4 notes. Yeah. I watch a lot of paranormal stuff, don't you? They see me, I watch a lot of that at home. Okay, 4 notes. We're going to call it 4 notes. Yeah, brilliant. Save it. Okay. And then if I go back into here, and I put in sound, I named it as 4. So it should be right at the very top. Four notes. Yeah. And it's straight on there. Sound. And then you just knock your divisions down. Or in this case, it's 1, say, number 3. Divisions. So divisions, this is the good thing to translate as well what's on the divisions. How many notes? That's it. That's all that means. How many notes do we want? We only want 4. I've left the echo on there, but there we go. It's that simple to write. And then you can write chords in as well. Let's just take that echo off. We go back. I know, I understand this is a lot to take on, but these are the questions you're all going to ask me. How do I put my own thing in there? So I thought I'd just cover that first. Back onto the piano, if you wanted to do chords, switch to chord mode. And then you can literally just put in, oh, I'm going to want a C major. I don't want a 7 or a 6 or anything weird. And we'll have a C bass note with it. And then there's your chord. It will be there. Ching, already done. So that's how easy it is to write your own thing straight into here. It really is just immediate even. So there's only one way really, and that's to have a go. So I'm going to put it onto tin turn. So the beams, the real star of the show. So these are a sonar beam. It's not an infrared. It's none of that. It is literally the same as a bat. It knows when it's been interrupted, and it sends that signal down to there. And what we have really is it's an invisible synthesizer. All the sounds and all the magic are in here, like a normal synthesizer. It's just instead of pressing keys, we're breaking an invisible beam. There's loads of different trigger modes, which is very useful. So it's easier to play. Let me see what number I'm on here. Yeah, number 1. So I'm going to put it out to a meter because there are several divisions in here. So we've got 21 notes. So 21 notes in a meter, it's not very far. So less notes, longer, easier to play, if that makes sense. Within the first 2 inches, nothing happens. So Soundbeam get a lot of phone calls because schools get their, if I put it on cyclic sustain, I can show you. So, hello Soundbeam, how do we turn it off? So within the first 2 inches, it just starts and stops, nothing else will happen. It only kicks off from here. So we'll put it on the multi-trigger mode. So this is where your notes are coming up like this. If you use it on a long one, it's good to bear in mind that it's like a torchlight. The longer it goes, the fatter it gets at the end. So we play a really good game with this with our sports hall called Burglar Alarm. And we place them along, some high, some low, and aim them at different lengths. Now here's a really cool thing with the new one. We can put that over to there. Now, I've got that going out to about 4 meters, but I've adjusted the track, come back here a bit, So it won't go off here. So if you're doing a stage show or something, you need people walking in and out, it's fine. It's not going to go off because I've set it to go off about here. Maybe back a bit. About 4 meters, it's there somewhere, there we go.
4 meters is quite a long way.
Yeah, we're over here, isn't it? Come on. We'll get it in a minute. There we go. So it could be pointing all the way over to you, but only work right in front of you. And it won't work either side of. It's difficult to see, because you can't see it, aiming it, it can be quite tricky. So this is the trigger mode, which is basically how we want it to act. That's all that means. This is the one that normal people, people normally go to. Let's have a go.
That was my doorbell, not that.
Have a go, yeah. So,
So doing that effect because I'm not in the middle of the thing?
maybe. That's it.
You've got such a good game teacher.
So are you controlling the pitch or anything? You're just controlling the sound?
The scale.
How you guys-
The scale, yeah. So it's going up to about 1 metre. So it's quite tricky. Well done. I know. So keep going there. So that is the one trigger mode, but we have a choice of trigger modes. This one is one we use a lot because it's really easy for our students. So if you keep going, I'm going to hand this one out. But this one, all you have to do is just wave in front of it. Just literally wave across. And back again. You can sit back and do it. Is that wrong? Maybe go for that one.
I think this is amazing. I found that really hard because I now don't know which.
Okay, so that's all right. So we changed the trigger mode on this one, so I'm going to do the same for this one there. So that one is quite tricky as a trigger mode. So we can change it to cyclic sustain. It's good to mention that all these trigger modes are kind of everything you want, really. So cyclic sustain. Now all you have to do is just wave your hand across the front of it. Oh, that's too close. So back. That's it, yeah? And then what? Wave across. So literally all you've got to do now to play through the scale is just break that invisible beam, but you don't have to find the note in the invisible beam, you just have to break it. It's just across. Yes, it. And then, of course, to stop it, there. So you just break it. So I'm going to really...
It's not easier for a smaller group and narrow it down, isn't it, to hear what you're actually doing?
So there's several... The trigger modes, what we just did then with the cyclic sustain, it will just keep going until I do that. There is also a cyclic sustain clipped, which means you can put 3 seconds for it to go onto and it will turn off automatically. All these different trigger modes are on the beam and the switches. So really is. I mean, I do sound like I work for them. I don't. I don't work for Soundbeam. I work very closely with them. But this machine, the answer is very rarely no. Any questions you're going to give me, the answer is going to be yes, it can. Yes, this can do that. Can you sample your own sounds in immediately? Yes, it's got an onboard sampler and a microphone. Or you could plug, like we did earlier, plug the K oscillator into there, bang, saved, it's on there. Backing tracks, absolutely. I hope no one ever looks at my Soundbeam because I'm going to be sued to hell. I've got everything on there from Led Zeppelin, Pink Floyd to Robbie Williams. But who's going to look bad if they sue a charity-run school, you know? And it's just so easy to do. You just go on YouTube, you get a karaoke version, you record that straight in, you assign the right notes in the right key, you got it. It really is very limitless. But what I'm going to do, which always blows people away, thank you very much, is who would like to play something by blinking? We can set this up to pick up a blink. And it'd be a shame to be here today and not do that, wouldn't it? So I'm going to put it on something that doesn't, we're going to put it on a harp, which is this one. You're in a really good position for blinking, yeah. Right, again, sometimes quite hard to aim something you can't see, but we're going to do it. So the little green light on the end is really, really helpful. Really helpful. I think that's probably about long enough. Okay, so don't move. Keep your head in the same place, basically. And blink. We'll find out in a minute. So you've got to keep the head still. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm leaving my head.
Okay, blink. Harp by blinking.
Oh, that was a good one.
Yeah. That is how sensitive it is. That is how sensitive it is. Yeah. So what I've done there is I've put it on cyclic sustain and I've done the range out quite far. So it gets fatter at the end, like we said earlier, which makes it easier to pick up that slightest movement. It will even pick up eye movement, not even a blink, just, you know, moving of your eyes.
Is this the same sort of technology they use for sort of
Theremin.
speech machines on wheelchairs and those people? Is that the same sort of thing?
No. No. It's not. It literally is. So the theremin, so we all know what a theremin is? Yeah. Yeah. The first electronic instrument ever, they say. Louis Theremin, 1904, something like that, I think, invented the... Made famous by Star Trek and Doctor Who. This is that, and then some. You know, so they sort of took Louis Theremin's technology and added a synthesizer to it, really, in layman's terms. Yeah. Blink 182. You know. Well done, thank you. Yeah. So there are so many brilliant. So we're going to try one of their new ones, and we're going to try this together. Now, for lack of not rehearsing this before I came here, we're going to do this. Cancel. Back. No. Right. So we have Crook Peak, I believe it is. Crook Peak. So this is one of their newest settings, and I thought this would be a good one for us all to have a go together, because what they've done, they've split it in half. So we have a key change. The question we had earlier was, how can we have more creative freedom with it? There is a way with the Beam, but it's tricky. It literally is playing an invisible piano. So there's another trigger mode that we can use. I think we're on the right one there. Number 3. Okay, trigger mode. So we're going to say psychic single. So you literally have to find the note in the Beam without being able to see it. So that's the way you can play it in any order that you like, where you're not tied to the scale that they've given you, is to do it on that way, but it is quite difficult. Come up and have a go. Come up and have a go on here, honestly, really. I just need you to know that this is so simple to do. It really is so simple to run. So, see, we're going to...
I think maybe because I can't see it yet.
Yeah, this is it, yeah. So
Okay.
if you hit your home switch, and no, we don't want to save anything on there, don't worry. So, oh, no, it's okay, it's just no.
Okay.
So that is the thing. If you have changed something on that you want to keep, you say yes. It'll ask you to unlock for saving. We'll show you in a minute. And then you can save what you've done with a different name. You cannot muck up what they've already done for you. It will not let you. And then just scoot through the library, pick one you like the sound of. So just scoot on through.
Definitely don't want to hear Christmas
Go on,
at the moment.
Christmas, come on.
Oh, do you know what? I'm going to warn you now, it's Silent Night.
No. What's this? Oh.
So comedy is just comedy noise, because it's for drama as well, sport, you know, anything. You could use it for pretty much
Beat the
anything.
dance mix, anyone?
Yeah, bring it on.
Come on.
Go on then, dance mix, you got it.
Oh.
So yeah, just hit in the middle of it. There we go. So you can test it now before you use the beam by running your finger along the beam
just
bit.
along
Yeah,
here?
yeah. Same with any of them.
Takes back to early days,
So, but we're going to say we're on number 1 here, like that. We already know that to play it like this is quite difficult, so maybe we're going to change that trigger mode to make it easy. Yeah. So if you play your beam now. So I think these are mainly samples. Okay. Yeah. And then if you scoot just into the front of it, there.
Okay.